So, after a big win, how much confidence did that give you guys going into the Iron Bowl?
Um, it's a great it's great energy to have going into that week. We don't like to in this business it's not really good to base it's not really good to base how good you are or how well you guys are playing on wins and losses because that means you're always gonna be like this. You're never gonna really be at a constant pace of going up. And so it's a good energy to have going to the Iron Bowl week. But in terms of confidence, I believe we still have the same confidence we have as a defense. It's really just the outside world kind of seeing how we can play toe to toe with anybody on the defensive side. I'm speaking for the defensive side. So yeah.
You faced some mobile quarterbacks this year. Jalen kind of brings that as well. What do you see as a challenge against Milrow and that offense?
Obviously, caging the quarterback, we have to be really good at. So we just have to hone in on just us doing our 111 from the defense and not us doing our own thing. Kind of focusing on rush lanes, understanding that rush lanes are going to be a big part of this game, and not getting out of your rush lane and trying to go make a play, but honing into your assignment and doing your job so we can have the collective victory.
And playing in the Iron Bowl, how big is that for you?
I can't wait to experience it. I hear so much about it. I've heard a lot about just our first SEC night game being last week. Keontae told me, he said it's gonna be he said you've experienced night games, but it's gonna be different. Trust me. And so I remember going to the fourth quarter. I just looked at him, and all we could do was just laugh about it. Everything he said came true. And so going this week into this old rivalry, taking it serious and just really, I can't wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Let's prepare the right way. Let's do everything the right way, like we know how to do. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not start thinking about Saturday, the outcome of Saturday, everything today, but own into who we are, make corrections from last week, and then move on.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Ooh, favorite Thanksgiving food. See, I like a little combination. I need see, when I was a kid, I didn't really like dressing, but now I like dressing a little more. So I like my mama macaroni, the dressing, and I like the turkey to go with it, the gravy.
You mix it all together?
I won't say mix it all together.
Okay.
Everything's for sure touched on the plate. I'm not one of the people who nothing can touch. Nah, my food can touch for sure. Take a couple bites, put a couple of different things on the fork at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Hugh said one of his favorite things he does is have Thanksgiving with the players and their families. How much does that help with team bonding and stuff like that?
I mean, it helps a lot. I mean, it just kind of proves to his point as family culture. Family's a big part of him, and he's not just talking about it, it's his actions too, it's how he treats us every day. You know, some head coaches, they don't even go around speaking to the players, it's literally just like a business. But here, he opens up his doors, he opens up his to have Thanksgiving with us, a very personal family time. He opens up with his players, he lets us know a lot that he cares about us, he does a lot for us and everything. And so it would be it just seems right for him to treat his family in terms of his words. And so I'm very appreciative, but it does build a lot of bonding. It just makes the team closer. We can trust each other. We can eat Thanksgiving meal together too.
I'm sorry if you already been asked this, but what is maybe your earliest memory of the Iron Bowl? Maybe just growing up and just watching college football.
Just watching kind of from my earliest memory. I actually remember growing up. Actually about the Iron Bowl specifically. So it was a big debate what the biggest game was, because it was but the biggest game was for me being from Michigan. It's about Michigan, Ohio State, and Auburn, Alabama, and the Iron Bowl. And after being down here and experience, I'm for sure gonna be able to clean slate in that argument. I can't wait to experience it this weekend. I feel like it's gonna be second to none. I really do. And I actually watched the community here. I was actually watching this thing on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but just talking about the Auburn, Alabama history of each other, just to pretty learn and just to be in it, because you're gonna be in something, you better step in 2 feet, so it's a lot of blood between these games. So I want to make sure the outcomes are in our favor.
And it's always a dramatic finish. I feel like it doesn't matter what the records are for either team. You know how maybe. Now, first time being in the Iron Bowl, how does maybe the way it ended last year, just hearing from the guys, is that maybe a little bit extra motivator for you, even though you weren't in?
No, it for sure is. It for sure is. I mean, I've heard it multiple times, and kind of even going through things now. I felt last year, obviously it wasn't the outcome that nobody wanted from the Auburn side, but I feel from the players, although you can find the bad in it, you find the good in it too in practice. And so we go over those end of game scenarios, understanding we're going over end of game stuff. You don't have end of game every time. It may come up once a year. But the time you're doing the end of game situation in real life, that is the most important part of the game. Doesn't matter how you got there, doesn't matter what all happened to lead you to that point. All that matters is that you win that play. And so it kind of just put another layer of like how serious it is and how intentional you need to be throughout those times of practice to now. So I feel like it shows.
Mm-hmm. What is maybe going to be your personal going through your mind when you get off that bus, because it's been a long time since Auburn has won at Bryant Denny?
It's gonna be mine.
Like your mentality, your mindset, when as soon as you get off that bus, seeing Bryant Denny for the first time, because it's been a while since Auburn's won at Bryant Denny. It's been since 2010, I believe.
I mean, there's gonna be some tension, like honestly. Like, I'm not going there for no games, not going there to joke around, nothing like that. We're going down there to handle business. And so whoever's in the way of that, like we gotta like stomp on them. And so like, especially being on defense, especially being a linebacker, somebody gotta be the villain on the field. Somebody gotta have that mindset. And so I feel like collectively as a defense, that mindset is gonna be like, first of all, we're gonna stop the run. Like, I don't even need to go in the game plan this week to even know that we have to stop the run. So we're gonna stop the run, cage the quarterback. And so just playing with a mentality like, bro, like by any means necessary.
Last question for me going off of that too. What do you think you see from Jalen Miller? We kind of just mentioned that how important is it to stop maybe he's dual threat quarterback. What have you guys seen on him?
I haven't watched anything on him yet. We were about to go into meetings and everything now. Start talking about Bama this week. So I personally haven't watched I've watched games, obviously he's a good player, but I haven't watched any like tape on him yet. And so, but understand that we're going against another mobile quarterback and cage in the pocket and like keep him retained.